Now I'd like to invite Dr. Stein to the lectern to share some remarks. Please join me in welcoming him.
Good afternoon, Mary Baldwin community, and thank you for that incredible welcome. I want to offer my gratitude to Board Chair Gabby McCree, certainly to Helen Forster and Harvey Westbrook from the Search Committee, to the full board, as well as to the faculty and staff on the Search Committee, all of whom made it very obvious to Chrissy and me that this was the place that we needed to be. I also want to thank President Fox for her visionary leadership and her tireless work on behalf of this university. Dr. Fox, my thanks to you and to Dan for all that you have given this community and your gracious welcome to Chrissy and me. I offer appreciation as well to some specific students who I met during the interview process and who generously shared their stories. I'm going to get this part wrong, but I'm going to do my best. Lakia Bekurestian, Gerardo Escalero Cardoso, Jonathan Delgado, Haley Gummer, Asia Patterson, Trelawney Simpson, and Keith Taylor. Now, while Chrissy's family and my family couldn't be here today, neither of us would have made it to this moment without their love and support. And depending on which of our 5 sisters are in charge of the technology back in Colorado, I want to acknowledge them. They might be online. It's hard to know if they made it. Steins and Watsons on the live feed. If my phone rings in the next few minutes, I guarantee it will be one of them or one of our 2 children providing corrections on these remarks. I guarantee it. Yeah. And of course, I'd like to thank my wife, Chrissy, my partner, who has her own distinguished career as an educator and a fierce advocate for students, and who has always made me better. As a slightly nerdy Jewish kid growing up in Denver, I spent time in 2 prominent locations. You could find me often either on the basketball court, imagining my career as a professional basketball player, or in the library, where it seemed like everything was possible. The first time I visited Grafton Library on campus, I was taken by the image of the torch in the stained glass window. And I was reminded of a story by the mystical scholar Isaac Luria. You see, he says, at the beginning of our world, there was divine light that was stored in sacred clay vessels. At some point, those vessels shattered, scattering light and the shards from the vessels throughout the world. While interpretations differ, I prefer the reading that those shards entered into each of us, that we embody those shards imbued with celestial light. And it is our job throughout our lives to repair the world by reconnecting those shards through acts of kindness and social justice, through education, by bringing light back together in the world. This is a story for me that gives me understanding, number 1, of our purpose, right? How each of us contributes to repairing this world. Literally bringing back together the broken shards of the vessels and the light. As well as understanding, too, the importance of providing grace, understanding how the fractured and the divine exist in each of us. Inherent in this notion is that the differences that make us unique are enhanced when we come together, that our community is stronger and brighter because of our differences. And I'm drawn to Mary Baldwin because this institution has always been, as Mabel Lefwich Pelletier of the class of 1903 wrote, a luminous torch. A torch that is carried by students and alumni and was started with namesake Mary Julia Baldwin, an orphan who attended the institution upon its founding and came back to lead the institution even as the war raged at her doorstep. Mary Baldwin has always been a beacon of light on the hill, always rising, always improving lives, showing courage to endeavor for what is right and equitable, to raise people up, to educate, to fight for women, to fight for the underrepresented, providing access to education that transforms lives. Now, education has been that same lantern of opportunity, for my family. In the first half of the 20th century, my grandparents slipped out of Europe. One side of the family escaping the Russian pogroms, the other side of the family escaping the Holocaust, in the hope that their future children, my parents, would not only survive, but would enjoy the freedoms of education and democracy. In 2 generations, my family went from refugees to first-generation college students to this moment today. My own family's history fuels my commitment to higher education as our most powerful launchpad, transforming the trajectories of individual students and entire generations of families like mine and like yours, and to broad access to education afforded to all. Of us have been touched by this flame of education and opportunity, which is more in this country. In this way, we each serve as the torchbearers protecting Mary Baldwin's flame and working to ensure Mary Baldwin is always rising. My work for the past 20 years in and out of the classroom has readied me for this moment. Today, I am inspired to join Mary Baldwin on its own trajectory of success, a community that for 181 years has made brave and bold decisions to bring light, the fastest moving entity in the universe, that empowers the broadest array of students to build lives of meaning and purpose in communities around the globe. Now, new college and university presidents are often asked, what are you going to do first? What are you going to change, right? These are scary moments sometimes on campus. My answer is that I will begin by listening and learning from each of you. I understand that is bold and optimistic at a time when every college and university in the country is experiencing disruption and change. But I have spent my adult life studying literature, creative writing, and higher education, investing time and energy in building liberal arts communities and institutions. At the heart of that work are people and their stories. My own study of writing and literature has been driven by a desire to propel students, those on the borders, to develop voice, to write themselves into existence. Already, I have been deeply impressed by the students, faculty, staff, alumni, community members, and trustees who I've met, and deeply inspired by their passion, their creativity, expertise, and their dedication to making the best learning community possible for students. Your stories are the reason I am here today. And I make this commitment today, no matter the changes ahead, to listen and learn from you, to hear your thoughts and stories about what you love about Mary Baldwin and where you see opportunities for growth, to strive to engage the entire MBU community in developing our initiatives moving forward, to always put students first and at the center, to honor the legacy of MBU and keep Mary Baldwin connected to Stanton and Virginia, and to ensure that students and families looking for a better future can always turn to Mary Baldwin. Of course, we have no choice but to continue to evolve and grow. As we prepare students for a world we cannot yet imagine, as concerns grow about outcomes and rising costs, as demands increase for a diverse, resilient, and agile workforce, and as institutions across the country face existential threats. But how we do that work will be important. Like you, I am eager to more deeply understand the complexities of this moment at Mary Baldwin and the competitive landscape that we face. And I will do my best to take your thoughts and ideas into account moving forward. In the years ahead, we will work to increase retention and graduation rates, to deepen engaged learning, intercultural competence, internships, and essential skills, to enhance pipelines and partnerships, both at MBU and externally, to spur internships and jobs, and also to further support student, faculty, and staff well-being. Along the way, we will need to balance budgets, fuel innovation, and further increase fundraising and friend-raising. But we already have so many assets at our hands. Talented and dedicated staff, faculty, and alumni who mentor MBU students every single day. A deep focus on students, student learning, and leadership development. Strong curriculum and expertise in a broad array of fields across the Gold College, Palmer College, Murphy-Deming, and more. Across undergraduate, graduate, adult, and online programs, and connections and partnerships across this region and many industries. And that's just a small handful of so many assets that we have. I started my comment talking about the students and thanking them for participating. I wonder if Lakia and Gerardo and Jonathan and Keith would stand up for a moment for us. And if you don't mind remaining standing, if there was ever a question about the purpose, importance, or power of higher education, these students are the answer. I believe Baldwin's brightest days are ahead and that together we will ensure the torch of knowledge and opportunity will continue to guide us in this new chapter. I'm here because I am awed by Mary Baldwin's unflagging determination to social mobility and to empower these students, to create lives of purpose and professional success in our changing world. No matter the challenges ahead, I believe in these students, and I believe in this community, this torch, and its ability to build the future. This is the light of higher education and the legacy of Mary Baldwin that I hope to continue to build with you. I want to thank you students for being here today. Feel free to sit down. And thank all of you for being here, for being online, and for your commitment to Mary Baldwin. I look forward to our work together. I offer good wishes for the end of the semester and the end of the year. Chrissy and I are eager to meet each of you in the moments ahead and the months ahead, and I just want to say thank you.